Your eyes fly open at 3 a.m. The room is eerily silent, an ominous calm that echoes the chaos in your mind. The darkness wraps around you like a suffocating shroud, stifling any thought of peace. You glance at the clock. 3 a.m. Another sleepless night. As the soft hum of anxiety fills your ears, you feel that familiar tightness in your chest, a heavy weight pressing down, as if the very air around you has thickened into a suffocating fog. This isn't just insomnia, it's a gnawing despair. Tomorrow morning's coffee isn't as hot as it used to be, and the taste of freedom has been replaced by the bitter aftertaste of what once was. It's that moment you dread, the moment when you reach for your card at the grocery store or the gas pump, and you hear it. The dreaded declined echoing off the silence like a tombstone marking the burial of your financial hopes. You can feel the eyes on you, those judging stares from the cashier, the scoffs from strangers. You're not just facing financial ruin, you are wearing your shame like a badge of dishonor. The endless cycle of bills, the pressure of debt, it's a prison with gilded bars. Your dream of financial freedom has transformed into a nightmare of servitude. You're trapped in a silent battle, where every no serves as a reminder of how far you've fallen. The conversations that used to hold laughter now feel barren, the stolen moments of joy drowned under the weight of responsibilities looming like a permanent cloud. It's no wonder your heart races every payday, or that you find yourself avoiding social gatherings, afraid of the inevitable comparisons, the subtle judgments of friends who seem to glide effortlessly through life. And that's where most people get it wrong. You think you're alone in this, that your pain is unique. But the truth is, this anxiety respects no borders. It creeps silently into homes, settling in restless minds, breeding fear and discomfort. No one is coming to save you. Not your friends, not your family, not even the government. You're losing time, and with it, your dignity. As the world moves forward, you feel it drifting away from you. Even the smallest financial setbacks loom impossibly large, creating a chasm between your past dreams and your current reality. With every tick of the clock, the dread builds. You lie in bed, heart racing as you replay every financial misstep. What if I had saved more? What if I had made different choices? It's a carousel of regrets, spinning relentlessly. But here's the ugly truth. By focusing on the past, you're accepting a life of victimhood, a life dictated by circumstances instead of choices. Your dreams have been crushed beneath the weight of your financial failures, and it feels monumental. You think about the expensive vacations you were supposed to take, the comfortable living you should have achieved, only to find yourself time and again staring at bills, checking balances, debating cheap takeout over groceries. Your identity has been inextricably linked to your financial status. You've bent over backward to maintain an image, to keep up with the Joneses, hoping that one day, everything would fall back into place. But instead, you've chained yourself to a cycle of despair, a relentless pursuit of financial status that only leads to deeper stress and a more profound sense of isolation. It's not just your bank account, it's your very soul at stake. You feel the bag of humiliation tighten around your neck as you recognize that financial dignity has slipped through your fingers like grains of sand. But amidst the loneliness, that whisper of hope starts to rise again. A flicker in the darkness. You begin to realize you are not the only one stuck in this cycle. There are countless others trapped just like you. Yet, the key to breaking free lies not in the promises of quick fixes or the glib advice of wannabe gurus, but in a resolution to confront your silent inflation head-on, armed with the wisdom of those who have thrived against all adversity. If you identified with this, understand that you have the power to rise above. Subscribe now, and let's embark on the journey to recover your dignity, to reclaim not just your financial status, but your very identity. There's a path laid before you, a blueprint drawn by the wise, the patient, and the truly prosperous. Don't let another night pass by the clutches of shame. It's time for action. It's time to reshape your future. Warren Buffett is not just a name that echoes across the financial halls of fame. He represents something far more significant. Picture him, if you will. An everyman dressed simply, unpretentious in his mannerisms, yet possessing a mind sharper than the finest sword. You wouldn't expect him to be a multi-billionaire. Instead, he embodies the role of the grandfather saver, patient, wise, and eternally grounded in the realities of monetary life. But what he said about debt changed everything. and it may be exactly what you need to hear right now. Buffett's approach to personal finance is a model of simplicity often overlooked. He preaches a lifestyle of frugality that can feel alien in our consumer-driven society. Don't save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving, he famously says. How many of us live by that creed? Too many of us have fallen into a trap where we indulge first and save what's left, which is usually nothing worth saving. We're caught up in the whirlwind of instant gratification, a ticking time bomb that not only robs us of our hard-earned money, but like the silent inflation creeping into our lives, slowly siphons away our peace of mind. And that's where most people get it wrong. Buffett recognized long ago that debt isn't just a financial tool, it's a chain that binds us. While you might look upon your credit cards as just a means to an end, he saw them as intruders in the sacred space of financial freedom. You may think your charge card offers you flexibility and freedom, but in reality, it often becomes a double-edged sword, clipping your wings as it propels you into a cycle of servitude. Buffett's life stories emphasize one recurring truth. The most prudent path is one paved with patience, foresight, and a genuine understanding of what money is meant to achieve. He lives by the mantra of avoiding debt like the plague, a notion that feels increasingly alien in a world where so many find themselves drowning in student loans, mortgages, and other financial obligations. You may think that getting that loan to upgrade your lifestyle is just another step on the ladder of social validation, but remember this: each dollar borrowed is a dollar shackled to your future, a reminder that your dreams must bow to those demands. The first rule is never lose money. The second rule is never forget rule number 1. Do you hear him? It's tough love delivered with a paternal gentleness that resonates, even now. But perhaps it's tough love you desperately need. Consider your position today. A jigsaw of anxiety, held together by the fragile pieces of high-interest payments, constant financial stress, and the haunting specter of uncertainty. You're not swimming in abundance, but rather sinking under the weight of choices that felt like confidence, but soon revealed themselves as folly. But then the unexpected happened. The sobering reality of your present situation can't be ignored. While you chase after the allure of possessions that promise happiness, Buffett's wisdom shines a glaring light into your chaos. You find yourself wanting the most recent smartphone or a luxurious car under the illusion that they would elevate your status or fill the void within you. Yet, with every flashy purchase, the burden of debt grows heavier, planting seeds of shame and regret that blossom into full-fledged anxiety. What if you shifted the narrative? What if, instead of wrapping yourself in the cloak of consumerism, you embraced the principles Buffett espouses? Imagine a life where your deepest fears of judgment, inadequacy, and humiliation begin to dissipate the moment you decide to live within your means. Visualize your days where the frantic race to pay bills fades, replaced with the graces of a clearer path, an emerging vision of financial dignity. In 2026, are you still holding on to the same cycle of debt? Or are you committing to the actions that draw a line in the sand? Buffett's lessons, imbued with simplicity and practicality, provide you with a wealth of knowledge. Begin to view your finances through his lens. Each dollar saved is another step toward the life you once believed was beyond your reach. And here comes the critical micro-hook. The secret that follows could save your retirement. Realize that every dollar you refuse to throw into the abyss of debt is a leap forward into your next chapter, a more liberated existence. In this chaos, wisdom stands at your doorstep. Buffett's lifetime of experiences invites you to question everything: the lavish lifestyle, the desire for status, the constant chase. He knew that true wealth isn't measured by your possessions, but by the space you create for peace, security, and happiness in your life. You too can cultivate that space. You simply need to embrace a mindset shift, one that prioritizes the battle against debt over the allure of unnecessary purchases. So, as you sit in the shadows of your current financial imprisonment, remember Buffett's lessons. His steadfastness beckons you to realize that the simplest path, living with intent, saving diligently, and avoiding debt, is indeed your pathway to surviving the silent inflation that seems to echo through every corner of your life. Your journey doesn't have to be fraught with shame and despair. With little tweaks inspired by the financial traditions of the grandfather saver himself, you can reclaim the dignity that seems to elude you. The question is, are you ready to embrace this transformation? Your first step is awaiting you, right here, right now. In the relentless hustle of daily life, it seems bewildering, doesn't it? The struggle of living paycheck to paycheck. In the pursuit of societal approval, you've unknowingly shackled yourself to a financial fate more insidious than any monster lurking in your closet. It's called debt, and it has stealthily tangled its hairy fingers around the neural pathways of your mind, tightening, squeezing, suffocating your hopes. The sobering math of debt is simple, yet brutal. You feel like you're wading through an endless swamp of obligations, but it's vital to face the reality of those numbers haunting your life. Have you ever sat down and tallied up your debts? Mortgages, credit card bills, personal loans. These aren't mindless numbers on a screen. They represent a lifetime of choices, of temporary satisfactions exchanged for lifelong servitude. The average American household is drowning in $15,000 of credit card debt alone. That number doesn't account for the stress and anxiety that comes with it. The sleepless nights, the lingering shame, and the racing pulse at the end of every month when the bills arrive. Let's pause here because this is where most people get it wrong. There's an insidious belief that by merely maintaining the status quo or paying just the minimums, you're somehow managing. But that's a dangerous illusion. Each month you merely keep pace with your payments, you are not treading water. Instead, you're sinking deeper into an abyss of compounded interest and unending obligations. It's time to confront the uncomfortable truth. This financial freedom you long for isn't going to happen on its own. The weight of your circumstances is crushing. You've built your identity around the notion of being okay when you're not. So many fall into the social status trap, where keeping up with neighbors and friends becomes an unthinking reflex. Flashy cars, trendy vacations, the latest gadgets, the very items that drown you in debt are also the ones you think you need to flaunt. It's a vicious cycle of chasing validation in a world that equates worth with wealth. But let me tell you something that may shock you. There is no badge of honor in debt. No glory in living on the edge of financial instability while pretending everything is fine. You may think you're playing the game, keeping up with appearances, but in reality, you're only losing the war. In the chase for social acceptance, you've signed a silent pact with your financial ruin. And that's where most people get it wrong. They think that more money will solve their problems, that a bigger paycheck is the golden ticket to happiness. But that's simply not true. You can earn more, but if your spending continues to grow correspondingly, welcome to the lifestyle creep. It's deceptive, like a gradual rise in temperature that eventually throws you into a boiling pot. Each little upgrade becomes a larger long-term obligation that contributes to your financial suffocation. Picture this. With every new purchase aimed at increasing your social standing, your obligation creeps ever higher. This life cycle of debt is quietly chipping away at your dignity. Vocational pride crushed by credit scores that loom over you like a dark cloud. This is the silent inflation, a creeping realization that your standard of living isn't improving, but deteriorating. Over time, the mere act of living becomes an insurmountable obstacle, leading to feelings of insignificance and isolation. What you may not realize is that this anxiety respects no borders. It knows no boundaries. It permeates every corner of the globe, affecting millions. It's a collective affliction, and you're not alone in this shake of despair. This doesn't just happen in bustling cities or the suburban sprawl. It's alive and well no matter where you call home. So right now, I need you to go into the comments and share which city or country you're watching from. Let others know they are not isolated in this battle. There is a community rallying to reclaim their financial dignity. No one is coming to save you. That's the raw truth that must resonate within you. The statement may feel harsh, but it's time for tough love. If you're waiting for someone to rescue you from this unending cycle, save your breath. It's a lonely path you must walk alone, armed with awareness, resolution, and the willingness to act. You have lost time, but it's not too late to turn the tide. Breaking the spell of silent inflation requires a navigation through the dire waters of your financial reality. It's reformative work, a reshuffling of priorities. And let's be honest, it's not going to be easy. Yet you must confront the calculations of your current predicament to find true freedom. Reframe your identity not around possessions, but the core principles of living within your means. Write down your debts. Understand the math behind each dollar you owe, and feel the gravity of those numbers sink in. But then, the unexpected happened. As you start to see things clearly, realizing that the harder you grip onto maintaining appearances, the heavier the chains of debt grow. It's in self-reflection and acknowledgement of your own choices that change begins to blossom. To reclaim your dignity, you must shed the weight of those chains. Understanding the impact of your decisions is the first step in rewriting your financial narrative. No more burying your head in the sand. You have to take control. You can surround yourself with a community that values dignity over status. That is the bridge to reclaiming your financial future. It's an uphill climb, but with each step, you'll draw nearer to a vision where your days are free from the shadow of debt. So ask yourself, what are you willing to do? Are you ready to confront the truth and make the necessary sacrifices? The battle begins with acceptance, and from this point forward, you must fight for a future where silent inflation no longer rules your life. As we pivot towards the heart of this battle plan, let's lean into the tough love you so desperately need. The road ahead is fraught with challenges, but it's an undeniably necessary journey to reclaim your financial dignity. You're here because you recognize the comfort of living paycheck to paycheck isn't enough anymore. You want more from life: freedom, dignity, peace of mind. This is where you start. Let's lay a firm foundation with our first non-negotiable pillar, the Dignity Fund. What exactly is the Dignity Fund? It's not a luxury, nor is it an unattainable dream. The Dignity Fund is a savings account, but it serves a higher purpose. Before even thinking of spending or indulging, you must first pay yourself. Here's the blunt truth. If you don't prioritize saving first, your future aspirations will drown under the weight of your obligations. Start with a bare-bones assessment. Look into your bank account and see how much you can allocate. Even if it's just $100 or $200 per month to start, that's your seed money. Each time you receive a paycheck, set aside that amount automatically. The secret here is to treat that money like an unbreakable contract, a commitment to yourself. Skip that trendy coffee shop again. Hold off on the impulse buys, and instead, feed the Dignity Fund. Over time, you'll find your financial confidence growing as the fund swells. But then the unexpected happened. You realize that each month you're growing wealth little by little, and that underlying anxiety begins to dissipate. When it comes to this pillar, envision what your life will look like as you rebuild this foundation of savings. Picture it, a stack of cash that symbolizes strength instead of shame. As this fund grows, you gain the power to face obligations, but also the freedom to take risks that might actually propel you towards your goals. Now, for the second pillar we need to tackle, the No Debt Pact. This is about making a vow to yourself and to your financial future. You'll live without debt. You understand that debt is a chain that is all too easy to wrap around yourself, one that suffocates hopes and dreams. It's time to cut the cords. So here's where the tough love really kicks in. This might mean selling the car you love. Do you hear that? Scary, isn't it? But hear me out. Owning a car that drags you down with monthly payments, insurance costs, and maintenance fees is not a badge of honor. It's a ball and chain. Instead, contemplate selling that car and opting for public transportation or even carpooling. If it's feasible, consider moving to an area with better access to these options. Challenge yourself to go car-free for a while. Use those funds from selling the car to build your Dignity Fund faster. And that's where most people get it wrong. They shy away from confronting this choice, holding on to their symbol of freedom without realizing it has merely imprisoned them. Sacrificing that car will leave you with a lighter load, both financially and emotionally. Another part of the No Debt Pact is to cut the card. Yes, that credit card. You might be clinging to it like a life raft, but it's time to acknowledge hard truths. Credit cards are not the flex they once seemed. Each swipe is a step deeper into the trenches of financial ruin. If you can't live without it, consider locking it away, stating that you won't use it unless in a staggeringly necessary circumstance. If you're saying, "But I'll miss out on rewards," remember this: living without the debt is the ultimate reward. Focus your spending on what you can afford. Instead, let your money align with your Dignity Fund. Empower yourself to say no. Each no becomes a powerful yes to your freedom. As we carry on into the next pillar, the compound interest rule. Understand that compound interest is a double-edged sword. It can either work for or against you. When it's against you, every dollar borrowed today becomes exponential in its burden. But when you're saving, the beauty of this principle allows your money to grow. Long-term, The earlier you begin saving, the more you benefit. Now here's the tactical aspect of this rule. Open an interest-bearing account specifically for your Dignity Fund. Choose an account that offers a decent interest rate. This could be a high-yield savings account, a CD, or a solid investment strategy, depending on your comfort level. Each month, as you funnel more into that account, the interest you earn acts as a strong ally in your journey to regain your financial dignity. Picture this. While others languish under piles of debt, you are the one growing wealth. The compound interest snowball gaining speed as you invest in your future. Every dollar saved today will become more substantial over time. But wait, there's one last tactical move you want to make before you gear up for relentless execution. Focus on multiple streams of income. Start brainstorming. This could mean pursuing a side job, freelancing, or even starting that business you've been dying to launch. The secret that follows: a varied income stream is your secret weapon against financial instability. Even a modest side hustle can provide you a cushion, an extra injection into your Dignity Fund. Now let's sum this up. We've built a framework that consists of the Dignity Fund, the No Debt Pact, the compound interest rule, and multiple income streams. These non-negotiable pillars form your battle plan against the silent inflation seeping into your life. It's painful to embark on this path, admitting the hard truths of your financial malaise. It's not going to be easy, but it's absolutely necessary. Each step you take infuses power back into your hands, a conscious reclaiming of your financial agency. With each tiny victory you achieve, let it serve as a reminder. You are more than your debts, more than your fears. You have the tools to break free from the chains and reclaim the life you deserve. Now is your moment to act. Stand firmly on these pillars and watch as your life transforms. Your future self will thank you for the fight you chose to win today. You know the saying, out of sight, out of mind. Well, in the realm of finances, it's more like out of sight, out of sanity. As you step onto this path of reclaiming your financial dignity, the first thing you'll encounter is the relentless social pressure and envy that tries to drag you back into the depths of debt and despair. The journey to financial freedom isn't just a solitary endeavor. It's a challenge that triggers the envy and disapproval of those around you. You might find yourself facing judgmental glances from neighbors or the subtle jabs of friends who don't understand your choice to live frugally. It's a cruel twist, isn't it? While you're tightening your belt, they flaunt their lavish lifestyles, oblivious to the pain that silently cripples your own finances. It's enough to make you question your resolve, to wonder if the sacrifices are worth it. And that's where most people get it wrong. They assume that supporting others, a beautiful idea at heart, includes joining in their reckless spending. But when you let fear of judgment into your heart, you also invite back the very thing you're fighting against: debt. Let me be clear. Facing envy and social pressure is a battle worth fighting. You need to armor yourself against the judgments, the well-meaning yet damaging comments that come your way, and the sometimes overwhelming sense of isolation. Here's the truth. Your journey to reclaiming financial dignity may leave you feeling like a pariah. Friends might roll their eyes when you opt for the budget dinner choice. Family members might make you uncomfortable with their obliviousness to your circumstances. This is tough love, my friends. The choices you make today may not garner applause, but they will lead to a standing ovation from your future self. So how do you stay steady in the face of this social minefield? First, find your tribe, those who share your values and vision. Surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals can serve as your safety net, reinforcing your journey with encouragement rather than discouragement. Seek out communities, online or offline, focused on frugality, savings, investing. Whatever resonates with your mission, realize that as you share in your determination, you cultivate a fortress against the judgment outside. And here's a secret. Those who judge you, the ones swimming in the sea of consumerism, are often battling their own demons. Misery loves company. The more you shine a light on your financial concepts and choices, the more discomfort it brings to those who are unwilling to face their own mess. It's not your responsibility to take on their emotional burdens. Stand tall in your choices, speak your truth, and do not waver. The mental pivot is a crucial component here. You must learn to shield yourself from the envy that lingers, the whispers that echo in your mind when you're tempted to step back into the alluring arms of lifestyle creep. It's simple. When facing envy, remind yourself of your purpose. Visualize the freedom you're working toward with every dollar saved. Picture this. It's 2026, the dawn of a new chapter in your life. Picture waking up without the crushing weight of debt and anxiety clinging to your heart. Imagine sipping your morning coffee, feeling at ease with your financial situation. No more racing heart during bill payment days. No more second-guessing choices. If you stay the course, you will find tranquility, a profound, soul-soothing peace that comes from financial stability. You're no longer that person grappling with shame. Replace those feelings of humiliation with pride. You wake up each day, knowing that the sacrifices you've made have borne fruit. You are saving, investing wisely, and slowly but steadily building wealth. Your dignity is intact. Your peace of mind is a reality. Think about the space this creates in your life, the freedom to explore opportunities without the ever-looming specter of debt management. You might have the flexibility to travel, to explore hobbies, or even to give back to causes you value. Each moment becomes a celebration of your financial decision-making and resilience rather than an exercise in concealment. But let's not kid ourselves. This peace comes only if you're willing to confront and navigate the challenges that arise daily. But then, the unexpected happened. People will notice the shift, and they will respond. When they see you thrive without the weight of debt tethered to you like a ghostly anchor, they may try to pull you back in. Come on, just this once, they'll say. A little splurge wouldn't hurt. Here's where your mental pivot comes into play. Respond to those temptations with clarity, confidence, and decisiveness. Envision yourself deflecting those requests with grace. I've chosen a different path now, and I'm committed to my journey. Wouldn't that feel empowering? You're not just resisting temptation. You're standing as a beacon of aspiration and the embodiment of freedom that others may secretly envy. Ultimately, the distant echo of envy will transform. Over time, as you grow, thrive, and inspire, friends and neighbors will begin to see the light your choices cast. Don't be surprised when some ask you for advice. They'll want to learn about your journey, and your transformation can become a motivating force for others who still feel trapped. You're forging not just a new lifestyle, but also an example that can ripple outward. As you embark on this transformation, hold on to this vision of 2026. It represents peace, freedom, and dignity. Allow that vision to propel you when the pressures mount and others don't understand. Embrace the solitude. It's the precursor to profound change. Surround yourself with those who will elevate you and fortify your resolve. Remember, freedom demands sacrifice, but it also grants liberation. Stand firm as you break free from the chains of envy and pressure. You are crafting a world where your past financial hardships become the pillars of your newfound freedom. The year 2026 isn't just a destination. It's the beginning of something extraordinary. So rise, build that steadfast armor, and let the vision of a peaceful future guide you. Your journey is worth every ounce of effort. Now take a breath and charge forward. The life you deserve is closer than you think. As we close out this deep dive into the stark realities of your financial landscape, where silent inflation creeps into your life, draining your dignity like a thief in the night, it's crucial to pause and reflect on the journey we've taken together. You've traversed a path lined with painful truths and hard-hitting lessons. But now, understanding is not enough. This moment demands action. Your time, your most valuable asset, is precious. I thank you for choosing to spend it here, confronting the silent specters of financial despair. Every moment you willingly invest in knowledge is a step towards reclaiming your financial agency. You are echoing the sentiments of the wise who have walked this earth, those who understood that change requires boldness and conviction. Thank you for taking this journey with me. And that's where most people get it wrong. They assume knowledge alone will lead to transformation. But information without application leads nowhere. You can sit here, nodding in agreement but without action. You risk falling back into the suffocating cycle of denial and despair. Embrace the gravity of this moment, because when the clock strikes 2026, you can either be shackled to your past choices or emerge triumphantly as a steward of your financial destiny. Now, let's bring this to a climax. The stakes are higher than ever, and with the winds of change swirling around you, the time for decisive action is now. You have the tools, the strategies, those non-negotiable pillars that can transform your life from one of chaos to one of clarity. But will you have the courage to wield them? Remember, your choices dictate your future. The road ahead is fraught with temptation and social pressures, but there is power in your current resolve. We discuss the impact of the Dignity Fund, the No Debt Pact, and the compound interest rule. These are not mere words. They are your lifelines. They can pull you out of the murky waters of financial despair and into the sunlight of freedom. But the crux of your journey lies in commitment. You must sow the seeds of change now to reap the rewards later. You are at a pivotal point, and the question looms larger than ever. What life do you want to build for yourself? What legacy do you wish to leave behind? Remember, every penny you delay saving is a step backward, a moment you can never regain. It might be tempting to fall back into the comfortable arms of denial, but that path leads only to more sorrow. The sense of urgency pulsating within you must manifest into firm resolve. Today is no ordinary day. It's the day you decide whom you want to become. Look deep into the mirror and recognize the person staring back at you. Perhaps you see a blend of fear and determination. You may see regret, shame, or despair, but let that be your fuel, the secret that follows. It's not the mistakes that define you, it's how you respond to them. Will you allow your past to infect your future, or will you rise, ready to take the steps necessary to reshape your life? As you move forward, let me leave you with this powerful adage from Warren Buffett. The best investment you can make is in yourself. This investment demands more than just time or money. It requires faith, discipline, and oodles of patience. Your financial dignity hinges on the choices rooted in a commitment to yourself. Now imagine your life in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. It can either be a reflection of the same struggles, or it can be monumentally different. Each day, each decision you make from this moment forward shapes that vision. So stand firm, for you are not merely avoiding debt. You are crafting a legacy filled with dignity, courage, and freedom. As the familiar echo of doubt creeps back in, remind yourself of this pivotal truth. You have the power to change your narrative. Recognize that you are not just the sum of your financial decisions, but the architect of your destiny. Today, this moment, you have the opportunity to embrace your journey of transformation. The time for excuses is over. The moment calls for decisive action. Will you remain stagnant, grasping at fading dreams? Or will you rise like a phoenix from the ashes of financial turmoil? The choice is yours alone. So as we fade to black, cling dearly to the lessons shared here. Let this be more than just information. Let it transform into action. The clock is ticking. Your future awaits. Rise and boldly reclaim what is rightfully yours. Financial dignity. Now breathe deeply. Take solace in the power of choice. Move forward, not for anyone else, but for yourself and the life that beckons you from beyond the clouds of despair. Your journey starts now, and I believe in you.